If you're a high-achieving woman, chances are you run your life like a pro. You get stuff done, you're organised, you're competent, and you hold everything together. So why, genuinely why, can a plate of festive cookies leave you feeling totally out of control? If you've ever eaten something festive and then felt instantly guilty, or promised yourself, I'm just going to get on that diet in January, then this video is for you. I'm Lara and I help women break that binge and restrict cycle so they can feel calm around food and confident in their bodies. And I've helped hundreds of women heal their relationship with food. And also, I've been right where you are too. I'm a recovered binge eater who spent years wrestling with anxiety around food, especially at this time of year. And it sucks to feel like you're doing so well in other areas of life except for your relationship with food. So let's get into some of the real reasons why this happens. You're a high achiever. You're very good at getting things done. You're disciplined, you're organised, you make the rules, and you set very high standards for yourself. You just get things done. And this strategy is fantastic for lots of areas of your life, work and your career. But with food, it can be a bit of a trap. If you've got those perfectionistic tendencies, then this can create very high expectations for yourself. So during the holiday season, it might look like, I shouldn't eat this, I shouldn't eat that, I'll have to exercise this off later. Your high achiever brain kicks in and you decide you're going to be good, you have certain rules, maybe not too much sugar, not too many carbs, or you're going to skip lunch so that you can save the calories for later. So you're trying to control the situation. The problem is this kind of strategy is doomed to fail because restricting food basically just makes you want it more. If you show up to a party really hungry because you skipped lunch, it doesn't give you more control. It means you're more likely to overeat because you're so hungry because you skipped lunch. And the problem is when you break one of these strict rules that you give yourself, you have that mindset of, oh, sod it, I've already messed up, I may as well eat the whole packet or whole tray or whatever's in front of you. And then obviously you feel more guilt, more shame, you feel like a failure, you're out of control, and you think, that's okay, I'll start again tomorrow. And so the cycle starts over again. So how do we actually break this pattern then? I want to give you a few mindset shifts that can genuinely help, not just at this time of year, but throughout the year. So the first shift is to go from control to connection. The holidays are not just about being able to stick to your strict rules around food. It shouldn't be a test of your willpower. Holidays are about connecting with people. But if your brain is so busy counting calories or working out what kind of exercise you'll have to do to run off the mince pie you had, you're not even present with anyone. Your mental energy gets drained by that food anxiety instead of spending time in conversation with family or friends. So this year, why not aim to consciously shift that focus? And instead of stressing about what's on your plate, focus on the people that you're around and remind yourself that it's about memories and food is just one little part of that. So the next shift is from perfection to presence. High achievers often do things really fast, and that often includes eating. It's just one more thing to tick off the to-do list. So this shift is about slowing down and trying to eat a bit more mindfully, to be a bit more present when you are eating. Slowing down gives time for your brain and your stomach to communicate. And you may know this, but it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to actually register the I'm full signal from your stomach. Eating slowly allows your brain and your stomach to have that conversation. So things to try: take a breath before eating, chew a little bit slowly, notice the taste, actually savor and enjoy the things you're eating, and slow down so you can put your fork down between mouthfuls. Those little strategies can help you feel a lot more calm when you are actually eating. So trying to focus a bit more on the satisfaction than restriction. Shift number 3 is to go from that all or nothing mindset to gentle nutrition. So it's really classic that during the holiday season, all the quote unquote bad food comes out. So that might be things like mince pies, special cookies, chocolate and cheese. And the temptation is to label all this food as bad or naughty or indulgent. And the issue with this is that when you start to call this kind of food bad or naughty, then you feel bad or naughty when you eat it. So you're not failing by enjoying that food. That's perfectly normal and natural. What you might want to do, this shift, is rather than thinking about, oh, I can't eat that, think about gentle nutrition instead. So the question to ask yourself is, what else can I add to this to make it a little bit more nourishing? So alongside some of those special holiday dishes that may be high sugar or high fat, try and eat something with maybe some protein or some fiber alongside it. Because these foods are satiating, it means that you will feel full in a good way, and it also helps stabilize your blood sugar levels. And the final shift number 4, is to go from guilt to asking the question, what's going to make me feel good now? After a big meal, a high achiever may feel quite guilty and look for ways to punish or compensate. So you may think, well, I need to go for a run tomorrow to run off that big meal I had. So instead of asking yourself, how can you punish yourself for your eating sins, instead ask yourself, what can I do now to make me feel good? You may need to focus a little bit more on self-care. Maybe it's having a peppermint tea to soothe your digestive system. Maybe it's going for a gentle walk, also to help with your digestion. Maybe it's making sure that your next meal is packed with really nourishing foods like vegetables and protein. So the idea here is to focus on what you can add to feel better rather than what you can take away to compensate for all the wrongdoing. So just a side note here, if any of these shifts are starting to click and they make sense to you and you're done with that cycle of guilt and restriction and binging, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I share regular videos to help you feel in charge around food, not just during the holidays, but every single day of the year. So I want to leave you with 3 practical tips that you can do this holiday to feel more in charge around food. Tip number 1 is don't save up your calories. This is such a big one, and I see people doing this so regularly because they think it seems really logical. They think, well, I'm going out tonight, I've got a big party, so I'll skip breakfast, have a really light lunch so that they can have a bigger calorie budget for dinner. But honestly, this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make, because what happens is you arrive at dinner absolutely starving, and then you're way more likely to overeat and binge. Your blood sugar levels will be low, your cravings will be through the roof, and your brain is wired to find the quickest and most energy-dense food around. A much better strategy is to eat normal and balanced meals throughout the day, and even to have a little snack before you go out, something that has that protein and fiber in it. Greek yogurt, berries, and some seeds, for example. You'll find that you arrive much more calm and in charge around food. Tip number 2 is neutralize the food labels that you use. The more you use that good versus bad food labeling, it actually creates more desire for those bad or naughty foods. You almost have that sense of deprivation, especially if you've been telling yourself, oh, I mustn't eat those foods. The problem is when you do finally eat them, you feel super guilty because you're feeling so bad about eating the bad food. We want to stop moralizing food and giving it those good versus bad labels. Yes, some food is much more nutrient dense than others, and some food has its place for celebration and for joy to the soul. Both have their place, but what I recommend is just stop labeling them in those ways. So call the food what it is. It's an apple or a chocolate bar or a mince pie, rather than naughty or sinful or indulgent. And tip number 3 is to try food pairing. This is a really great strategy for reducing the blood sugar roller coaster that you might find yourself on. So if you do fancy something that is naturally quite sweet or sugary, a mince pie or some Christmas cookies, for example, ask yourself, what can I add to this to make it more nourishing? So alongside the mince pie, you might eat an apple or another piece of fruit or a handful of nuts. The idea here is, rather than your blood sugar level doing this, is to make it a lot more stable along the way. So the bottom line is that actually those rules and the discipline that you bring from other areas of life into your relationship with food can actually do more harm than good. So often when we heal our relationship with food, it's about letting go of some of those rigid rules. So this holiday season, let's see if you can let go of some of that guilt. I promise you it is possible to enjoy the holidays without that food guilt weighing you down. And try those practical tips that I told you about. Let me know in the comments if you do actually try them and how that went for you. So thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what your biggest holiday food challenge is. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on how to heal your relationship with food and feel amazing in your body. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.